literally 5 of them I didn't even use. Camouflage, I used it as a joke because, like, if you don't want to use Shadow Walk, which deals damage to you while you're invisible, you can just have one that lasts for 300 seconds, only lasts for, you can only use once a day, and lasts for about 5 minutes. There you go. But
you've got some nimble fingers. What have you been getting?
But the other thing is that I also have a system here where if we were to player dot get actor value, let's say personality in particular. If you read this, let's go to a darker area. That should be fine. You'll see that it says 325 here. So if we go talk to this guard here.
Yes?
Okay, we'll go into the persuasion wheel.
Go ahead.
I'll go quickly through this, and we'll leave. And we'll do it through this. Alright, so back to the dark area. If you see, the get actor value, when we were in that dialogue, the persuasion wheel, it changed a little bit. But then when we got out of the menu, it changed back. That's because one of the spells that I had originally that was supposed to help with selling items and just overall helping with the speechcraft system, because I do admit it does get boring after a while, but hey, it's fine. I ended up changing it into an active effect that gets applied to the hood of the armor. So now in the hood of the armor, if you're ever buying or selling items, bartering, which is, or not bartering, haggling, if you're buying spells, I think, I decided to add that just in case that does actually do something, or just going into the persuasion wheel, it actually changes your stats by 75 as Persuasion of the Mind did. Mind you, Persuasion of the Mind lasted for 10 seconds, but that didn't matter because time freezes when you talk to NPCs. So that's kind of the reason why it doesn't actually technically do that. But how does it remove it is probably what you're asking. Well,
we're here to help.
When you're in a menu like this, where you can talk about, let's say, the rumors.
Thank Akaton.
Yeah, like if you're in a menu like this, it actually does remove it.
Goodbye.
That's when it removes it. So there you go. Other things that I added is that, let's see here if I can remember all of them. Talked about combat awareness. Night Eye. Night Eye also has a cool thing too, with that, and something that I've noticed as well as Detect Life, but I guess it's just all of them that have a magical effect kind of thing. If I can actually get up onto this area over here. Thank you. There you go. Night Eye. So, as you can see, the screen is blue. That's normal. That's Night Eye. But if you were to use something like this, what is it? It's called, what is it? It's, I think it's like, let's see here. It's player Night Eye bonus, I think? Is that what it's called? Yeah, I think it's like Night Eye bonus. Is it Night Eye bonus? So for Night Eye bonus and for Detect Life, you can do it. But in order for them to work, you have to save the game and then reload the game for it to reload the instance for it to work. Now, of course, you can also just revert it back to normal. So let's revert it back to normal. And of course, you'll see that it doesn't actually change. And there you go. The reason why that actually did change is because I had it on my armor. So the only way to reset it is if you have something that actually gives you Night Eye and then remove it. That's what my Night Eye thing does. It also has a safety precaution for it to change your Night Eye stat that it adds into 0 as well. So it does both this, so it's both, I think it's modify actor value. I don't think I have it as set actor value. It both changes it by 1 through this, and it also gives you an active ability, so just in case you remove the active ability or whatever, it doesn't break the whole thing at all or anything. All it is mostly is just to actually remove the effect and all that such. The other thing is, I think I talked about the influence 1, I think a little bit. I also have that random combat defense, or the random defense bonus at the start of battle. I changed all of that to be set at, or to be all of the different variables as you saw. So all of these different water breathing spells, reflect chance, I changed it all to that. So now it's easier to, I don't want to say easier to read, but now it's easier to sort of like be able to modify it. Because instead of actually going through the spell list, going through like 3 different menus just to change one variable, you can now just go into the script, change it as easy as anything. I think there has to be another one that I'm not remembering.
Oh my goodness. Excuse me, are you all right? By the divines, this person's dead.
Yes, they are. So another cool couple things that I have on my armor that I'll quickly show off too. I think all the orbs I think I've already talked about. So there's one that will now do this. Now, if you've ever played Oblivion, this should deal damage to you. What? Yeah, so my armor now has an extra thing where it now has the ability that if my acrobatics, without any enchantments, or any sort of outside influence, I think except for active abilities, or active effects, I could be wrong, I don't really know how that part of the variable works, but anyway, so if that is the case, if your acrobatics is at 100, you will no longer take any fall damage. As you'll see, I'm supposed to be taking fall damage now, but I'm not taking any fall damage. I have another one that I've kind of was playing through a mod, and I ended up getting so disgusted at the fact that I had to keep on using my Shadow Walk ability just to get through majority of its story, just to test out my armor, seeing if I need to do any changes. By the way, there are 2. I will tell them, I will list them when we do get involved with them. But anyway, so when I went through that, I got really frustrated. So I added an extra condition for how sneaking would work. So as you can see, I can crouch. Nothing happens. But if I were to run a bat command, I think it's that one. So bat, chameleon, sneak, toggle on. Nope, that's off. On .txt. Oh, I'm invisible now. Hey, buddy. And you'll notice though that they don't actually see you at all, even if your sneak is really, really low, because now, to the game, you're 100% chameleon. But as soon as I crouch up...
You smell of death. Been conjuring up dead things?
Now, of course, it has a visual effect, which is what is one of the major issues that I've seen so far. Anything that has a visual effect, you have to go back and forth in order for it to work. And then they work perfectly fine, like as if nothing happened. And if I want to toggle it off, I just go do this and do. There you go. Perfect. And now anytime I crouch, no matter what my skill is at, see, it's not working. It's not turning it off and on. I ended up doing that because like I ended up having major issues with certain areas because I kept trying to crouch on one mod in particular, and the enemy kept detecting me even though my sneak is at 225, and according to what the mod has, it adds like a disguise, and that wasn't working. So I decided to just do that instead because it just made it much more easier for me. But yeah, I've already I'm gonna have to figure out why it kept breaking on me. But yeah, so that ended up happening. I also have an extra thing for when we're, like, it's similar to how we are in water. If we were in dangerous water, which in terms of Oblivion means lava in this case, I cannot take damage.
This is a grand day.
But I haven't been able to test it. I know one mod's supposed to have it, but I accidentally broke the NPC to never take damage, so they can't take damage, so I can't promptly test if it's actually working. My character took damage at first and then didn't take damage for the rest of it, but that could be like my acrobatics fall damage thing just not working in water for some weird reason because it's conflicting with something. But anyway, yeah. So I've also did something very crazy at one time while I was waiting for things to go through and everything. So let's go to the Armory. So a bunch of cool, kooky changes have actually happened in here. The first thing, I'm not going to do that, is that the tablets are no longer here. Oh my god, where'd they go? Well, 2 of them have been changed into something else, which are in these things. You can already probably tell what these are by the name of them. But the last one has been changed to up here. It is the tablet removal. This removes every vanilla spell that's actually in the game. Now, vanilla does not mean Shivering Isles, Knights of the Nine, and all that stuff. That just means that anything that, if you were to have just Oblivion installed, no DLCs, it will remove all of the spells that are currently in the game. Now, if a mod changes a spell, as long as they don't change, I think it's its editor ID, it should work. It should. Not saying it will. But the other thing is that I found out how to do spell tomes, and I actually did it for every one of these spells that I had originally. And I also did for Soul Link because I kept getting tired of just typing in player.add spell, whatever the code is, 8367, which I remember it off the top of my head now, surprisingly. So I changed it to this. So we're not going to go into all of these because these are all the same thing. I'm going to go and get into this next session because that's actually going to be really cool. But we also have Spell Tome of Weather. I've always wanted to actually add something like this. Spell Tome of Other, Spell Tome of Effects, and that's it. Okay. So Spell Tome of Effects is self-explanatory just by looking at it. There you go. These will max out that current statistic to that number, to 100. So if you put resist normal weapons, so if you click it, it'll turn your resist normal weapons to 100. Now what this book actually does is that when you click an option, it detects what your current variable is for that certain statistic. So if I go with Chameleon, I'm clicking the wrong buttons now. It does this. But oh no, I didn't want Chameleon, I wanted something else. So if I click Chameleon again, it changes it back. So there you go. So that's what effects does. So it just does all that. Give other. So spell tome of give other or of other will give you a spell called give other. Now that's pretty cool. So let's go and test this out. So if we were to go back to the normal world. Oh, I thought it crashed. Let's go specifically to Anvil because I love Anvil a lot. Let's go and... Oh, they're not at the front gate. Weird. They're usually at the front gate. Come on, I want to test this out. Come on, I want to show people this out. Alright.
Any friend of Martin's is...
That's cool.
Be seeing you.
Alright, so as you can see, she's now damaged. Oh no, that's a problem. But we give healing effect on touch to her. She gets fully healed. This also, I think, increases their maximum health by 500 as well. So this will actually quite legitimately do that. Now, there is no detection if this is actually...
Such terrible times we live in. Is no place safe anymore?
So, like, this doesn't actually, like, have an indicator if it actually does work. I'm gonna add a visual effect, hopefully, to see, like, if it'll give it to the other person. So, they're like, when you give the spell effect to another person, so let's say if I give it to this beggar right here, they will, like, glow or something like that. They'll glow for, like, a few seconds just so that you can actually see that it's actually working. But yeah, that's what Give Other does. That's all it does. And if I wanted to remove the spell, let's say because I don't want it to clog up my spell list, I could just read the spell tome again and click no. And as you see, it removed it. And that's what it does. That's what all of my spell tomes do, except for I think the one that I made for Blade Song. I think that one has the the spell tome system from normal Oblivion, so it doesn't actually work that way. But Spell Tome of Weather is actually kind of interesting. So when you click it, it'll give you a list of all the things that you want. So either clear, cloudy, default, fog, overcast, rain, snow, thunderstorm, blah, blah, blah. So, let's say I want it to be very cloudy today. Doesn't actually seem like it changed anything. Let's go fog. There you go. Oh man, it's really foggy. I hate the weather in this game. I wish it was just clear. Oh look, it's clear. Oh, I guess cloudy is just adds extra clouds to the sky. That's not that bad actually. But there you go. That's pretty much what the weather one does. It just does what I keep hating to type into the chat now. Now I just have to book for it, which is awesome. The other thing as well that I added is that I went through the entire game again, for the millionth time, maybe even millionth and one time, kind of thing. And I ended up going through the entire game again, beating all the quests in the game, every quest you can think of. I did, except for I think Nirnroot, because I'm not collecting, how many is it? 300 and something? Yeah, I'm not gonna go look up a guide on how to collect all 300 efficiently or anything like that. I'm not even gonna do that. What was the other ones I did? I have a quest that broke, but I think I might know reason why it broke. It might have been my personality that broke it. And something else as well.